Short excerpt from Baiting the Hook by Chris Barili, read by Jeff Bowles. Ashai slipped into the shadowed recess of an alley behind a row of tanner shops, tossing one final glance back over his shoulder to make sure he didn't have a shadow. He'd already dodged both the fat man and the killer that morning, and their presence now would ruin what he'd planned. The alley was markedly colder than the sunlit street outside, and Ashai fought the urge to shiver. The people he was meeting would devour him at the first sign of weakness. He had to look tougher than they were. He had to look strong as steel. The gang leader stepped from a doorway a few feet ahead of him, into a slanting ray of orange sunlight. Tristy held out her meaty hand, signaling him to stop. Her coal-speck eyes searching the surrounding alley, she wiped her broad, flat nose on her sleeve. 3 more goons appeared out of the shadows, including the oak tree of a man she used to extract information from enemies. Gronk loomed a full head taller than Tristy, and stood with his fist in his open hand, a satisfied grin on his block-shaped head. Ashai took one note of a stack of crates to his left. They came up a few feet short of a nearby rooftop. Risky, but if he couldn't go back, they'd have to do. Tristy crossed her arms across her muscular chest. "What do you want, lone pup?" "Information." "You should have thought of that before refusing our offer to join." Ashai shrugged. "I'm a loner, you know that. Who's trying to kill me?" Tristy snorted. "If I knew, I wouldn't tell you. It's no good rattling out a killer. That's how you end up a dead rat." "Come on, you must know something." Gronk laughed, smacking his fist against his hand. "Tristy don't know nothing. Everyone knows that." Tristy cuffed him on the back of his head, making him wince. "Shut up, Gronk." She cuffed him again for good measure, then looked at Ashai. "I truly don't know, and that's bad news for you. Means it's someone serious, high up." "That's what I was afraid of." He scratched his head. "Join us, Ashai. We can protect you. There's strength in numbers." "Tristy, we've been over this. I'm not going to be your burglar." "Just do one job for us then. Steal one item and we'll offer you protection." He sensed rather than felt the 2 men block his path of retreat. He intentionally looked away from the crates to the opposite side of the alley. "No, Tristy." Gronk took a step towards him. "You know that's not going to happen." She glowered, shaking her head. "Get 'em, boys!" Ashai dashed for the crates, springing to the top just as Gronk's hand closed on nothing an inch behind him. He ran for what seemed like an hour, the frigid morning air freezing snot on his lip as he dropped back to street level. Things were just warming up when he rounded a corner and crashed directly into the fat man. Ashai bounced off the man's expansive belly, falling to the ground. He tried to get up, but the fat man held him down with a foot on his chest. "No need to run." The fat man's voice sounded like a distant roll of thunder. "I won't hurt you." Ashai squinted at him. "You're not here to kill me?" The fat man laughed so hard it shook the panes in the few glass windows in the alley. "If I wanted to kill you, you'd be a corpse." Ashai rose to one knee as the fat man went on, his voice soothing and protective, as if Ashai would be safe with him, from everything. "I am not the one who wants you dead. I wish only to talk, that's all. They call me the Narrated Lai." Ashai's heart rate jumped, and his head became light. He was face to face with the head of the Denari Lai, and he was still breathing. "That killer won't give up, you know." The Narrated Lai kept his voice low. "Not until you're dead, but I can offer you a place where he'll never reach you." Ashai's stomach tightened, and he fought to control his breathing. "You're trying to recruit me?" "Think of it, Ashai. Safety and glory. Nishi promises all the glory and fame one man could want when they complete their assignments." Ashai stifled the urge to shout. The Denari Lai wanted him too? But they always die completing that assignment. Narrated Lai shrugged. "The reward comes in the afterlife, when Nishi welcomes them into his home. What will your death bring you if this killer cuts your throat? You're not a fighter yet, son." Ashai's gut told him to run, and he always listened to his gut. That's why he was still alive. "Maybe not, but I'm a survivor," and he sprinted away. The Denari Lai operates from deep inside Yage Denishi, the mountain of God, with its belches of fire and hissing steam vents. I sat at my plain wooden desk and stared ahead, not seeing the thin vein of lava that ran down a channel near the ceiling, both heating my rock-hewn chambers and bathing it in blood-red light. The thumb on my left hand twitched, a rapid, jerking movement, and my mouth had gone dry an hour ago. I could feel my shoulders bunching as a chasm opened in my soul. I let my eyes drift closed, muttering under my breath the words I'd recited since rebirth, the prayer of renewal. Most Nishi-Itis knew it as a prayer said at bedtime, meant to bring a sound sleep and fresh energy to use for God's good in the morning. As Denari Lai, though, I knew its deeper, more secretive purpose, one known only to those blessed enough to channel Nishi's gift. This prayer, in its monotone rhythm, reconnected us with God himself, strengthening our faith and increasing the flow of God's power in our veins. I sighed as warmth spread down my back, and my muscles flexed with renewed strength. Fatigue fled, and doubt withered like parchment in a fire, leaving frail ash to blow away on the wind of faith. My heart thundered in my chest. It had been days since I had renewed my time and strength spent following Ashai, gathering information about him, studying his every move. So obsessed had I become that I neglected my own health, ignored my need for God's power. Such a thing could bring madness or death. But Ashai, what spirit! Refusing an offer at which most his age would have leapt. I couldn't let his refusal stand, of course. Once we chose a recruit, they have no future but ours. We simply needed time to make Ashai see it. And making him see would be difficult. I tried religious zeal and safety, but neither made him flinch. So obviously I needed a fresh approach. One that would be sure to draw in a street pup like Ashai. The homeless lacked everything, which is why he stole. It was not his character, but his means of survival. So of course, safety and faith didn't appeal to him. He'd survived this long on his own, and religion wouldn't fill his belly. I needed to appeal to his baser desires, the ones that meant life or death, more earthly things he'd never had. For a moment, I shivered like a sudden draft had disturbed the room. Ashai was but a boy, and I was most certainly condemning him to an early death. Then I remembered something else my father always said. Fish don't cry for us, son, so don't cry for them. Hook 'em and live. Reluctantly, I released my hold on Nishi's power. The flow of fire receded to a guttering candle in the center of my being. I'd need supplies, and I thought briefly to send Dolan, but then remembered I'd already sent him away. His mission was more important than fetching supplies. Alas, I'd have to do it myself. Grinning, I rose from the desk. You'll be ours, Ashai. Your future is written. The thought made me both smile and cry inside. I would recruit the best Denari Lai in 100 years and sentence a child to death.